Welcome to the DEI Effect. My name is Travis Brown, and we are back with Akiiah Darden. She is a big baller, shot caller. She don't want me to say that, but she is. And not only doing things for her, but for a lot of other people coming behind her. So welcome to the DEI Effect.
Thank you for having me.
So now we're diving into something that you live and operate and think about every single day. So I want to start with, so what is DEI, and is there a B to it? How do you represent? What's your thoughts around DEI right now?
So my DEI has turned to JEDI AB. So that's justice, equity, diversity, inclusion, acceptance, and belonging. So diversity is getting you to the door. I didn't say in the room, right? Diversity is getting you into the door. Equity is getting you into the room. Inclusion gives you a seat because you're now included at the table. But acceptance is going to keep you in that seat, and belonging is what's going to get you to a bigger table, right? So diversity to me means that you have intentionality to listen to diverse backgrounds, gender, race, age, and that you're open to do things differently, open to change. Really, it shouldn't be DEI anything. Everyone should be at the table with different mindsets with the same solution.
And that's really my follow-up question to that. Well, first of all, that's a dope. I got to go back. I'm going to have to cut that and re-listen to that because that's super dope right there, making your own acronyms. See, that's how you know you're a baller right there. You're making your own acronyms, right? But the follow-up question really is one, is there a point where like DEI is not a conversation? It's truly just a part of the DNA, the fabric of America, of business, of corporate. Like, are we going to get there?
So everyone is going to see color. We know that. So I can't say until you don't see color that we won't have it. But until you start to lead with intellect and qualifications and experience, we're always going to have it. If I know I'm female and I know I'm black when I walk in a room, how much time are you going to give me to show you how exceptional I am and that I can solve your problem and that I need to be here? Why first do I have to explain all of that? But I need you to change your perceptions when you see me. I need you to change perceptions when you see others like me. And just realize that I'm just like your friend and your network. And until we see beyond that, we're always going to have DEI because that's the only way we can level the playing field. But we got to go beyond DEI to A and B. Because if I don't feel, especially after the pandemic, if I don't feel that I'm accepted, that you're going to hear what I have to say, and I feel like I belong, I'm not going to stay there. I'm going to go find somebody that I can add value to.
Do you think that we're doing any of it well? The D, the E, the I, the A? I'm catching all of your acronyms now, the A, the B.
Yeah.
Which one of those are we doing well? Which ones we need the most improvement on?
I wouldn't say we. I would say certain corporations, certain individuals are leading as president and CEO. And also holding accountability in the middle. Because we may have it at the CEO level with the promise and the goals and all this stuff. We may have it grassroots with the, hey, we have opportunities. But this middle section, we need a lot of work in because we have the opportunities, we have the goals, but we're not doing the work to get people into the table with the JEDI AB.
How much is the supplier diversity, the procurement side of this, a part of DEI?
That is DEI. Supplier diversity is DEI. It was a stem from, okay, we have this DEI. How do we do it? Okay, let's put this facet here of supplier diversity because you're always buying things, right? We don't make widgets and gadgets, some of us. And if we do, we need to find those suppliers that come in. People have goals, and the only way to get to the goal is your percentage that you have, and it's going to come through procurement. So supplier diversity is DEI. That's all it is. But what I tell people is that supplier diversity is not a list. Supplier diversity is a relationship. But in order to gain a relationship with diverse vendors, you have to know who they are and you have to know what you're buying. A lot of people will go to a list and say, hey, I want refrigerators, and I go to all these refrigerator companies. Well, maybe that's not it. Maybe you're looking for a distributor who happens to sell refrigerators. You can't just look in Google and find one thing. Know what you're buying and then pick up the phone and call somebody on that list and gain a relationship first before you ask what you're there for, what you want, and it's beyond the list. Then when you gather a relationship, it might not be time for that individual, but when you're hearing conversations, you're like, oh, you need a distributor. I have one for you, or I have a couple for you. So I need people to go beyond DEI, beyond supplier diversity, and get into relational and not transactional, like you do the major companies.
Right.
You don't Google AT&T and contact the first person on the list that says contact us. You're going to pick up the phone and phone a friend or a friend of a friend that knows a decision maker within those major corporations. We should do the same for diverse businesses as well.
I love that, the way you unpack that. I think it's so dope because that's where we are, and other, I think minority businesses are going, like, we're out here, like, we're putting in time and work, let us get into the same process that we're talking about here. Now, as a Black female woman, I guess that's what a female is, a woman, talk to me about how difficult it's been, where you are now, and how do you see, Black females in the future, in more, leadership opportunities, board seats, chairmen, like what does that look like? I'm
optimistic. I'm in construction, right? I'm optimistic, but what does it look like? So success is right on the other side of fear. So whatever you fear, go do it. I wasn't a public speaker. I didn't want to tell my story because it wasn't good up until now. Now I can go back and tell the story about how I was in an 80-foot hole in Washington, D.C., treated negatively until I told a gentleman, I said, I heard you and I signed your paycheck. And it wasn't until there that the game started changing because I was confident and I had decision-making skills because of the fact I knew what I was talking about. And I knew how to get smart people in the room and not take all the credit. Let me get them in the room. I don't have to know everything and add value. But I will say I'm optimistic that we will get in boardrooms. But right now we have to understand and know where we came from and not forget it when we get into the room.
Are we making progress? Are we at a spot where it is different? I mean, because I say that going 20 years ago, it would look different. We went through some really difficult political times. We're getting ready to probably go through some additional political times. Like, are we making progress? Should we be beating our chest saying we're making progress?
We are making progress. Not as fast as we need to. We shouldn't have situations or social injustices to make progress, but we are. I mean, it started with President Barack Obama, right? What you see is what you'll be. It wasn't just for African Americans, it was for everyone to see that. And then that paved the way for Kamala, right? And then Kamala's paving the way. She's in my sorority, by the way. I'm AKA.
I saw the watch earlier. I already knew.
That's a subtle hint. When you know, right? And then it was from there that perception started changing. Like, oh man, they are not like how I perceive Black people to be, right? And then it just started perpetuating with CEOs now. CIOs or COOs or board members, and it takes that one person to affect change in their organization to say this is going to happen, so go find someone that happens to be the best and overly qualified. But then she gets to the table, and when you bring especially Black sisters, right, to the table, they're bringing their entire network, right? So now I'm bringing my network to the table, and I'm exposing you to people just like me, that I'm not the only one. So we are getting better, but we have to remember that reach as you climb. So when you're there, you already have someone right next to you just as good as you are to bring to the table, or to say, hey, what other boards are looking for African Americans? I have 3. Because you were reaching as you climbed every step of the way. So it's getting better as long as the people that are in positions of authority don't forget where they came from, and that they're always having 3 or 4 people in their back pocket that they can call upon and be ready. You have to stay ready because the opportunities are not going to come when you want them to. They're going to come and you have to be ready.
Thanks for sharing that. And I think as we're wrapping this DEI section up, I'm interested to hear your thought on this. Is what is your big wish? Because, a lot of people, I understand where they are in a box or in a bucket of DEI. You're already way out the box and doing things differently. What's the big wish? What's the big ask? If we get all this stuff right, what are we talking about?
Every major city has Black Wall Street. And when I'm very, very intentional about saying black. For us, buy-in for, buy-in with, to where we have our own ecosystem. Not excluding everybody else, but at some point in time, we have a bank and a barber shop and a salon and a corporation in every major city. That's just Black Wall Street. Let's bring that back. Let's buy from each other, sell to each other, and bring everyone up in the corporation. So we're not being we're not excluding. We're just creating. And then we can provide value to other corporations. But if we can have a Black Wall Street in every major city, oh, we doing something now. That's my wish.
And I can't say any better. I can't wrap it up any different. That is the DEI effect. And thank you so much for coming by today, dropping dimes. I can't wait to go back, cut up stuff, and put some of this content out because super dope. I respect you. I appreciate you. I see you. And thank you for what you are doing.
Thank you for what you are doing. I appreciate the platform. It means a lot.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.